And we're live. Hey everyone, I'm Marco. I'm one of the mentors here at the Firehose Project, and I run you guys through the info session today. So a lot in store. We have about half hour. I got a lot of questions from you guys already. I definitely want to make sure to run through those. If you guys have any more questions, right, feel free to ask me. Either email works, you already have my email, so send me an email, or also on the Google Plus page, you can use the little box and put your questions in there, and I'll make sure to get to them. All right, let's jump straight in. What do we want to cover today, right? I want to run you guys through the core curriculum, talk about the web applications that you guys are going to be building, the group project is all about, and how we customize our curriculum. I want to talk a little bit about the support system that we have, and then also quickly answer a question that I get a lot, which is, what can I really do when I'm done and graduated from the Firehose Project? So let's jump in, right? First of all, most of you guys watching already, I know that because I checked all your emails, you guys already work on our Firehose intro, on our pre-work. So for all of you guys who are not coding with us right now and going through the Firehose intro and working on your coding fundamentals, you guys should apply. So go to thefirehoseproject.com, very top map, you see a link to get started, apply for that, spend a minute or two to go through and apply for that, because we actually read every single application. We want to make sure that people spend some time and go through that. So apply for that, and then the first 2 weeks, we're going to work with you on your HTML and your CSS skills and run you through some Ruby fundamentals. So you write your first Ruby code in the terminal, write your first coding scripts. We do code reviews, we make sure your code is perfect. We review it, so we make criticism, we give you suggestions on how to improve it. It's just like in the real world. Once you go through the first 2 weeks, we decide if you accept you in the full program or not. So that's kind of our application process. And then we're starting the full program. So in the full program, first week, we want you guys to build a fully functional web application, make it look good on desktop, tablet, and mobile, and push it out to the internet, right? So what that does is it gives you like a 360-degree view over the Rails framework. You use more Ruby code, use HTML, CSS, and use Git for version control, GitHub to back up your code, use your Heroku server, right? And you get familiar with all these tools. And we push it live, right? And the goal is always like, if you're at a party and you pull out your phone and you say, hey, this is what I built last weekend with the Firehose Project, the response from your friends should be nothing else but, oh wow, you did this? That's awesome, right? So that's what we're aiming for. After that, takes about a week, we have you build the Yelp clone, right? And we're talking a lot about features here. So most importantly, we integrate with the Google Map API. That means we need to write the Ruby code to grab an address that a user puts in a form and saves in a database, translate that into latitude and longitude coordinates, and then pass that back to the Google Map API so we get the dots on the map, right? We do that. Obviously, there needs to be more than that, right? We have user notifications, right, via email. So if somebody leaves a comment, gives us a star rating, we want automated email notifications on that action on the platform to drive traffic back to our platform and increase user engagement. So we're building that out. That usually takes our students about 3 weeks. Next, what we want to do is work on test-driven development, right? Writing automated software tests is the bread and butter of every web application developer. You guys need to know that, especially if you're looking for a job, right? And if you're an entrepreneur and you want to build your own web application, well, software tests are used to make sure that nothing is broken and everything works. And I'm sure your users would appreciate if nothing is broken on the web application while they're using it. So knowing how to do test-driven development and writing automated software tests to automatically test that all the features are working properly is critical for both entrepreneurs and job seekers alike. So we do that next and have you build a web application with TBD in mind so you guys can write the software tests. Next up, we're building a two-sided marketplace. That means we have on one side, we have instructors, and on the other side, we have users. So for you guys, that means that for the first time, you have to actually deal with more complex user model than what you've done before, right? So there's different people on the platform. And then we also want to make sure that on a database level, we track how the instructors and the students, how they interact with each other, right? So there's instructors that are offering courses, like say educational courses about maybe coding. And there are students who purchase those courses, right? So we need to track who purchased what and which student has access to which course and which one they can maybe only see an overview video. And if I say purchase, right, we also need to integrate with an API, the Stripe API, to actually accept credit card payments on our platform. So we need to do that as well. And there's one piece where we actually introduce JavaScript, so you guys learn JavaScript as well. And that's for us to improve the user interface on the application. And we do that by teaching you JavaScript at the moment when you need that. That usually takes you about a full 4 weeks, and then we're at the 8-week mark. Throughout those first 8 weeks, we make sure that you guys write consistently good Ruby code and learn how to write algorithms and solve them, right? That's really important because those skills will help you to build advanced web applications. So we start that in week 2 and we go through the entire program. So at the 8-week mark, we split our curriculum. There's entrepreneurs on one side, there's job seekers and career switchers on the other side. So let's talk about the career switchers first, right? What we're gonna do with you guys, we put you on a group project. That group project has a dedicated mentor to it, and you gotta meet with your team at least once a week for an agile team meeting. And in that group project, which pretty much just mirrors the real world perfectly. We build an advanced web application together as a team, right? Why are we doing this? Because in the real world, the best software is built by amazing teams. And you better want to make sure that if you want to land a job as a junior web developer, you know how to be a high impact employee on day one on any team. So if you don't know how to do that, and the hiring manager's like, well, I can't use you because you don't know how to work together with other developers. Teaching you how to do that is crucial, right? And then on top of that, we're building an advanced web application. What we're building is actually a chess app, right? A chess game app. So people usually tell me, oh, come on, a chess game isn't that exciting. But if you're thinking about it, it's really technically complicated to implement that, right? You think about how do you write the algorithm to actually detect that checkmate just happened. That's complex, right? How to write all the tests to make sure that you don't miss any of the edge cases. And it's exactly that fact that impresses senior web developers and technical hiring managers. And that's exactly why our graduates get hired, because they can build something so advanced with so much algorithmic knowledge and power packed into a web application, right? That takes people 4 weeks. And when you walk away with it is what's called a pull request, one set of code that demonstrates really clearly what you're capable of as a developer. And that's what our people apply with, right? Obviously, you get help with the resume and technical interview prep too, but that is what really gets you the foot in the door, and that's what's impressive. That's why we're doing the group project, and that's why we're building an advanced web application. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, right, and your goal is, hey, I want to launch my own web application, then we'll put you on the entrepreneurial track. We take your idea, we wireframe every single screen out, we break it into individual coding steps, and together with your mentor, we work one piece at a time to get your own application launched, right? Now, if you're in between, you're like, I'm an entrepreneur, but I also want to find a job, I always recommend going with the group project, right? If you're in between, you should have one goal and you give it 100%, and that's usually how you succeed with that goal. Don't split 50-50. You can always, after the program is over, work on your own web applications. Which brings me to my next question. It's kind of the last question I always said I answer is like, what can I do after I graduate, right? Besides having your own application live, or besides finding a job as a web developer. You can take an idea, any idea that you have, and build it in a weekend or a week. You can sit down, code it, and ship it live, and share it with people and get that user feedback, right? And then build on top of it. And you have the capabilities of creating and building something for the web. And I think that's just really powerful. Now, we also have obviously this whole support system at the Firehose Project, right? So what do we have? We have a Q&A forum, we have mentorship sessions, and we have our weekly office hours. Let's talk about the forum first. And people usually tell me, oh, come on the forum, Marco, it's not that exciting. I have an error message, I put it in there, I get help. Yeah, that's great. That's how it works when you get help within an hour or two, so you're not stuck for very long on the error message. But what it enables us to do is when you come to the mentorship sessions, right? These are the one-on-one mentorship sessions. You, your mentor, Google Hangout or Skype talk, and that enables us for you to take care of all the error messages, like the typos, the missing semicolon, the wrong file naming, anything like that to take care of through the forum. So when you come into the mentorship session, we can take the time to refactor, to improve your algorithmic code and actually learn something, make something better. We can take it to build an additional feature on top of what you already have. We can write more software tests for a certain set of features where you struggled. So we can pair a program and really push you to the next level. And that's what makes the forum so important, because it enables you to take out over 100%, like everything you can out of the mentorship sessions. And then we have the weekly office hours. And personally, I love the weekly office hours. It's a time where all of our students come together, and then we can interact with each other, right? Anything goes. We get questions from error messages to career advice to looking at new gems, this open source code, to algorithmic questions, right? And we live solve the questions in a video chat where everyone comes together. And what's really interesting, what happens is like, if you just started, right, and you have people in the office hours who are like in week 10, 11, 12, they are like way advanced and they come with a question where you're like, oh man, this is a bit over my head, but I can see the path. Likewise, if you're in a program for a while and you have somebody in week 2 or 3 ask a question, you oftentimes go, oh man, I've been exactly right there. Let me answer that question. I can help you. And we see that happening over and over. We see that in the office hours. And we also have a Slack channel, which is a tool, instant messaging tool, a chat channel, where that's used by many web development teams around the world. And we use that as well, where our students communicate and help each other. So it's definitely a lot of community and engagement going on in that way. Okay, so that's pretty much how the whole program fits together, right? Think about it. We have the pre-work. If you're not on the pre-work, apply for it, right? For the FireHose intro, you get that for 2 weeks free. We can work on your coding fundamentals there already, accept you into the full program. We'll build 5 web applications with you. If you're an entrepreneur, we launch your own idea out. If you're a job seeker, we'll put you in a group project and build a web application exactly like it is built in the real world, together with an amazing team. Now, and then you have the support system, right? You have the forum, you have the one-on-one mentorship sessions, you have the weekly office hours. If you're in a group project, for last week, you also have weekly 1 hour long group meetings where you get together with your team to make sure everyone is on the same page. There's plenty of interaction coming your way. All right, guys, now I've already received a lot of questions, so I want to make sure I jump in and answer all of them. If you have any other questions, right, feel free to send them my way. As I said before, email me or put them into the Google Plus little box, comment box, and I'll grab them from there. All right, let's jump in. What do we have? Where are we? All right, here we are. What's the application process? Okay, great question. I kind of just answered that, right? Go to theFirehoseProject.com. In the top nav, you see Get Started. Click on that. Fill out the application for our pre-work. From there, we accept your application. You can code with us for 2 weeks for free. We work on your coding fundamentals. We review your code. We tell you how to refactor, how to improve it. We give you feedback. We give you the thumbs up. And then eventually we accept you into the full program, and then we can accelerate your coding there. So application process is apply for the FireHose intro. What's the weekly time commitment? That's a good question too. Weekly time commitment is a minimum of 20 hours per week that we want you to dedicate to coding, right? So obviously we have a lot of students that have full-time jobs going through our program, right? Our students are from all around the world. We have students from, I always say Bangkok to LA, but we just had some students from Hawaii, so I guess it's now Bangkok to Hawaii, right? Pretty much around the globe. So all of them, like most of them have, say half of them have full-time jobs, right? And they're putting in the 20 hours per week. That looks really great. Now, if you want to put in more hours, it's no problem at all, right? We scale up the curriculum so you consistently be challenged and get to do additional tasks and drill down deeper into areas that we know are important for you depending on what your goal is. So if you can put in 40+ hours a week, that's no problem at all. We have many students going through our program full-time, and we've never run out of interesting and challenging things for them to do to get their skills to the next level. So let's see, what else we got? How are the materials presented? It's a question I get a lot. Okay, materials are presented 3 different ways. We have written guides, we have videos, and we also have the live instructions. Written guides. Why do we have written guides, right? Why not video lessons, right? So written guides are really important because, first of all, they're really detailed. They give you step-by-step instructions, how things are working, how you need to build a web application. But in the real world, right, once you're a web developer, you always are confronted with written documentation for APIs, how to integrate with another web application. For open source projects, any kind of documentation, be it for Rails or Ruby, you always have written guides. Seldom do you have a video explaining to you step-by-step what to do. So by using the written guides that we have, you actually learn how to use the real-world tools out there by getting familiar with the written guide. So it trains you for the real world. Also, it's a lot easier finding something that you're looking for, a line of code in written guides. You can go into a quick search and you get to the right point, rather than coming to a video that's 15 minutes long and jumping back and forth between the intervals. Oh, was it by minute 5, minute 6? All you need is one line of code, right? For example, you want to like 3 weeks down the line or after you graduated, you're building a web application, like, oh, how do I do automated email notifications again? Finding that's really easy in a written guide. Finding that in a video is really hard. So that's why we have the written guides. Then we obviously have video instructions. We use video instructions to give you the overview, the big concepts, right? So for example, like, how does model view architecture work? Object-oriented programming, inheritance, something about algorithms, right? Test-driven development. We have videos to give you the big overview there. And then we also have the live instruction, right? Office hours, one-on-one mentorship sessions, your group meetings. That's live via Google Hangout or Skype Talk. All right. Excuse me. All right, I'm back and I'm losing my voice. It's spring here in Boston, and yes, there was just a little bit of stuff coming in this conference room. All right, we keep going. What's the difference between us and competitors? Let's keep going. All right, I think there's 3 main reasons. Let's see if I can get them done. With my voice slowly losing me here. Okay, springtime in Boston. I hope you guys still hear me. Huge difference in my voice. All right, biggest difference is the depth of our curriculum, right? So we go a lot deeper into like algorithms. We gotta go a lot deeper to build advanced web applications. A lot of other companies, online coding bootcamps, don't do that, right? They leave you hanging high and dry when it comes to building advanced features. We cover that. The chess game and the group project is a great example where we need to write algorithms and include it in our Rails application to build something that's more advanced than just something where a user can put something in a form and save it to a database, have it displayed on a different page. That's simple. That doesn't impress a lot of senior web developers. That's why we're building more advanced stuff, and that's why we're teaching you that. So the depth of the curriculum, the object-oriented programming, the algorithms, and also the test-driven development. We don't see that anywhere else. And so that's why we do it, because that's the real world. It's what you need every single day. That's why we're teaching that to you. And my voice comes back. Awesome. All right. Next thing is our mentors, right? So our mentors are like senior web developers from places like Flickr, Bitly, Product Hunt, PayPal, eBay, Yahoo, Y Combinator companies, Techstars companies, right? They're really, really advanced, and having them taking you under the wing is a huge, huge advantage that you don't get anywhere else, right? So definitely, those are one of the key differentiators between us and our competitors. And then, like, as I said before, right, the group project, that is something crucial, like absolutely crucial for career seekers. So the fact that you get to work together with other team members and build something that is guided by a mentor and not just like a side project, that's critical when you build something as advanced as a web application. All right, let's see, what else do we have? Something over here. Nope, guys. I can't see you guys emailing me more, which is awesome. Let me see. Oh, so Shannon just asked me, what's the refund policy basically? So if I join you guys and then I don't like you guys and I want to do the in-person bootcamp because my learning style is a little different, can I drop out? Yeah, so our refund policy is pretty simple. If you drop out within the first week, we can give you a full refund. If you drop out afterwards, we give you a prorated refund of the days that you spend in the program, right? So if you spend half of the time in the program, we give you half your money back. So that's what a prorated refund is. Good question. All right, what else do we have? All right, people submitting their coding challenge solutions on the pre-work right now while in the pre-work. I love it. Awesome. Always keep coding. Don't pay attention to me talking. Okay, why is a group project so important? That's a good question too. I said that, right? In the real world, the best software is built by amazing teams. You want to know how to work together with an amazing team. You want to be part of that. That's exactly why you're going to be a high impact employee, because you can actually contribute code from day one to any web development team. And that's exactly what hiring managers are looking for. Are you able to be that person? Yes or no? And if you have those team work credentials, if you can demonstrate that, and you can because everything is public, all your coding history, you have a huge advantage, huge competitive advantage against anyone else who doesn't have that. So if you're looking at any other program, they don't have group work. That's at least a third of their program, I'd say. You're looking at a huge disadvantage compared to anyone else who has that experience. What are some of your graduates doing right now? It's a good question too. All right. Who should we talk to? There's Angel. He's out in LA. He used to sell used cars of a parking lot. And he came to us and he coded with us. And he put a lot of effort in. And now he works as a web developer full-time for Sensei, a startup out in Venice Beach in Santa Monica. Either way, I think Venice Beach in Los Angeles, right? And he's super happy. He's like, he doesn't stand on the parking lot anymore selling cars. He's now writing code full-time. And he's one of their main developers, right? That builds the application. So sensei.it, I think. You can also find him on our alumni page, theFirehoseProject.com/alumni, and then see his blog review, what he had to say about us. Oh, there's Erin. She is in New York, and she was a receptionist, right? And now she works on the Art Genome Project with Artsy, right? Art Genome Project, they mapping the genome of art, right? So if you think about Pandora, they map the genome of music. So they make sure they map the genome of art. It's a huge, complex project, and I think they received over 30 million in funding. And so she's part of that team. Super exciting, especially for her because she had a arts history degree as her background, right? And then she put technical skills on top of that with us, which is really impressive. And before she was a receptionist, so again, huge change in career there. And then we have the entrepreneurs, right? So there's Steven. I always like to point him out. He came to us. Didn't really know how to code. He had an MBA, and now he runs his own company out in Sacramento, in San Francisco, which is an on-demand medical marijuana delivery app, right? It's like Uber for weed. That's how he describes it. You say what you want. You see the car driving on the map. When it's at your house, you walk down, you grab the little bag, you're good. Payment's already handled. I mean, he told me this like a few months ago. After his first month, he had 100 paying customers on the platform. I bet he tripled or quadrupled that number by now because he's a real smart entrepreneur, and he's doing really well. So that's what some of our graduates are up right now. So they're doing all really well, and yeah, I couldn't be more proud of them. Okay, there's more questions coming in. Let's see, from Jesse. What sort of understanding do I have to have going into the 2-week intro? Not a lot. It's pretty basic. Sometimes we don't require anything. So if you don't have any coding background, no problem, jump in. If it's too easy for you, don't worry about it. Give us your solution. We do the code review regardless. But let me assure you that once you come into the full program, it's going to get a lot more challenging fast. And there's also other resources that we suggest when you're in the 2-week program. If we notice like, hey, we need to get you to a different place before we can accelerate your coding skills in the core program. So definitely, if you're not in there yet, Jesse, apply and we get coding with you. So also, do we have payment plans? Yep, there's 2 plans. You can pay everything up front. So the full program is $4,500. If you pay everything up front, we give you a $500 discount. So that makes it easier for us handling all the payments. If you pay in installments, we have a 5 monthly installment plan of $900. So for 5 months, once a month, you pay $500. All right, awesome. You guys still asking questions, and I finally have my voice back. Man, allergies here in spring. At least it's not winter anymore in Boston. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Let me check if we got any questions over there. No, not really. I think that's pretty much it. All right, guys. If anything else comes up, just email me. You guys all have my email address, or reach out later. Happy to help you guys. As I said, apply for the pre-work. We got coding with you there. thanks so much for coming. This was a lot of fun and asking a lot of good questions. In the meantime, stay awesome, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.